Welcome back to the Rachel LaForce show. That's right, it's me, Rachel LaForce. I may or may not be broken. I think the last few weeks have broken me. Also, if you're watching this video, I don't know why I look like I'm auditioning for Peter Pan. Not different roles, just I look like I'm auditioning for Peter Pan because you can only see part of my hair. So if you're listening to this, you should go take a look on the YouTubes because Peter Pan it is. Okay. And Peter Pan never been more on his side. I don't want to grow up because I'll tell you what, these problems, wow, what a time. What a time. I don't want to bring my negativity to your airwaves. Okay. I don't want to do that to you. I want to be real with you. Okay. I want to be real with you because sometimes those of us that are just dispelling life knowledge, you think, if only, or maybe you don't. Maybe you think I'm an absolute buffoon, but I'm sure if I had to guess, some of you assume that I know what I'm talking about. I don't think it's that I don't, but I am not immune to the human condition. And so I figure if I'm going to tell you about the cool shit, I should tell you about the annoying shit. You know what I mean? What a poet. So I have been editing old clips of this podcast, which she's jumping right in. And I was like, wow, like the last 6 episodes have all been me just preaching about slowing down. Every one. It's like, and it was like resistance, consistency, keep going, even when you're tired. Then I had a whole one about rest. Then I even had another thing where I was like, we're just going to talk about integration. Go back and listen to an episode and integrate it. Like all I've been saying is the thing that I need to hear. And I guess I heard myself saying it, but was still like, yeah, not for me. That's for other people. We've conquered that, right? We should share it with other people. That's for other people to work on. We've figured it out. Not so fast, Peter Pan. Okay. Back to one. Back to one. If you don't work in Hollywood or have done any community theater, back to one typically is like if you're rehearsing, you're going to go you're back to the very beginning. And all of a sudden in my journey, my life, my tools, I'm like, oh, motherfucker, you got to go back to one. Like all of this change, all of this, you guys know if you listen to the podcast, I've got a love-hate relationship with the term of like leveling up. All these coaches out there, they're going to teach you how to level up. You're going to level up. Yeah, which is true. But also there's it's too like boss babe for me, I think. And I typically don't fall in love with, like whatever the next hot thing is on social media. But I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of Rat Girl era. I'm in it. I'm here for it. We're just out there. It's hot. We're just hustling. We're in these streets. And I like Rat Girl era because I feel like, a rat is scrappy. They get down. And so call me Ratatouille, baby, because I'm ready to take this summer by storm. And by storm, I mean borderline like on depression. Like I'm like, this is hard. This is so hard. This idea of quote unquote leveling up. Because I think the reason why I have an aversion to that is because the version that everybody sells you on, Instagram and TikTok and all the things and now Threads, which I'm loving Threads, but that's a conversation for a different day. Is this like just hustle girl, like, Stanley mug in one hand and my matching Nike suit and like, here's my monochromatic photo. Like we get it, when in reality, it's like leveling up is so much stop, start, stop, start. And so I apologize if I sound like a complete broken record between the last couple of episodes I've put out and today. But if it bears repeating for me, my guess is that you probably need this somewhere wherever you are in your journey as well, which is like, dude, back to one, take it back. Like when you try to start spinning all these plates and they ain't spinning, back to one. Get spinning one again. Then you can throw two. Then you can throw three, and four and five and so on. And, if you have kids or know anybody with kids, like another thing that always annoys me and moms, and they're like, it's just so hard. We got to keep them on a schedule. We got to keep them on a schedule. We got to regulate them. And I've always been like, yeah, they're kids. They're fine. They'll bounce back. Ugh, you got to regulate them. Okay. Children are wild, especially the younger that they are. We went on this trip for 2 weeks and I was like, oh, this will be core memories. Yeah, they were. I didn't know that they were going to be core memories of stress and what not to do. Okay. And even before we left, because my husband was like, this is going to be awful. This is going to be awful. And I was like, why? How dare you put that into the universe? Okay. This is going to be a wonderful, magical, restful trip. And he's like, LaForce, you've lost it. I'm like, okay, we'll find out. 2 points to Alex, 2 points to him. He was right. He was absolutely right. So since getting back, again, I've been fighting through this thing of, I know the call has been slow down, slow down, slow down. So much that that's what I've been sharing with you. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Okay. Weeks on weeks of sharing this stuff of we need to slow down. And yet I have felt unable to do it. And I'll do it like super sly, which is like totally the addict in me, right? Where it's like, well, I mean, like I slowed down a little bit on like this project. And I mean, I stopped doing this project. And it's like, okay, are you still doing 5 things and then also trying to like parent full time? That's still too much. It's too much. So, what I want to leave you with today is the idea of back to one. That the number one way to level up is, it's not this huge like, like I had a spiritual awakening and like now I'm leveling up, or like I left his ass, like now I'm leveling up. It's like, yeah, that's great, but don't celebrate for too long, because the new level is like, it's like a video game. It's new codes. Do you have those codes? Is the first time that you're in this level? Do you know what to do? Like, congratulations on getting past the other one. How many times did you have to play that level in order to graduate? Well, now you got to learn how to play this one. And that's what I've figured out is like, oh, every time I quote unquote level up and I get to the next thing, I'm like, oh, bitch is in the clear. No, no, no. Welcome to the new Thunderdome. Okay. That's what the real reality is. And it's not all negative. It's beautiful and wonderful and all of those things. But I don't know how much that bears repeating, as much as what I want to offer you is like, if you're in a similar place of where I am, or as I say, like, I feel like I'm like fighting myself in like just like a wet sleeping bag. Like that's how it feels. Like I'm just like trying to like do my day-to-day life, but just in a wet sleeping bag. It's like, it's not, you can do it. It's just not ideal. And no, for the record, I've never actually been in a wet sleeping bag, but it sounds highly inefficient. And so you got to go back to one. I think that is the universe's way of, not that the universe, I think, is designed to be like, haha, gotcha, like pin you down. But if you're really a student of life, if you're really dedicated to expansion, to creating the life that you want to live, great blessings comes great responsibility. Fantastic. You want to live your dreams? Guess what? You just signed up to showing up every day. Glamorous, all of these things that we say are so glamorous. That's not the truth. It's, that's what I've said this a million times. That's why all these documentaries that you watch about people who reach their dreams, and it's like half of the documentary is them talking about how miserable and tired they are, because a lot of us are not prepared for those things. So for those of us on a spiritual journey, a well-being journey, however you define it, okay, that's what's going to happen. Is you're going to get to this place where you get to the next level, and then it demands a new level of you. And it is shocking to me how long I've known that and how quickly I forget it. And this one, for whatever reason, I feel like I'm in just, what is it, American Ninja Warrior? And I'm the bloopers right now. That's what I am. Okay. Mom's not winning any awards over here. Okay. I'm the one that, like, these are the audition. I didn't even make it to the show yet. These are the audition bloopers. Okay. That's where LaForce is at right now. And I felt so frustrated because I thought it was like the beginning of the year was super slow. And, we all felt that kind of like haziness, kind of hangover of coming out of 2022. And then it was like spring awakening, and like I birthed my son, things are moving, April showers bring May flowers, boom, 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 boom. And back to one. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed, y'all. I'm mad. I'm like, you know what? I thought that this part was going to be easy. I thought this was like the reap everything you sow part. And I'm pissed. And I just want to offer that to you of like, part of the journey is going, yeah, thought this was going to be easier, kind of pissed. Like owning what is it that you feel in that time, because not surrendering to this, continuing to be like, oh, you guys need rest, restoration is spiritual, and not doing any of those things, you don't get to skip a level. It's not how it works. Peter Pan. Like you have to participate, and to be an active participant means like you're in there, and you being in the middle of the ring means getting stomped by bulls. And that's just how I feel right now of like this. I just looked at the clock and it's 4:44. Of course it is. And this just overwhelming sense of like, there's all this stuff, and I won't bore you with all the stories, although they're highly comedic, of like, I was verbally attacked in a Home Depot parking lot recently by a man with a very big tote bag, just swinging in the air as he's just like hurling verbally verbose things at me. That was a whole thing. I've had this whole tax thing going on with the state of California. I haven't even lived there in over a year. I've been like fighting that. I've got another gal attacking me, accusing me of some really ridiculous things. And, it was like just all of these things. Then coming off of this trip that was supposed to be wonderful, and then our car broke down on the side of the road, and I've got screaming kids in a hot car while we're waiting for the other car. And then the new car comes. They're like, sorry, we don't have a minivan. Do you want to take a smaller car? I'm like, no, I'd really rather not, because I packed for a minivan for 2 weeks. And then I had to pack up a minivan into a smaller car. Do you understand? Here's what I've learned. Anger is a helpful emotion, because the only thing that has gotten me through the last couple of weeks is tuning in, not running away from this feeling of anger, not running away from it, and going back to one. I'm pissed. I'm angry. Things are difficult right now, and I'm not sure why they're difficult, but I have to stay in them, and I don't like it. Okay. Peter Pan doesn't want to grow up. I'm pissed. I used to say, maybe I've said this on the podcast before, but when I first had my big spiritual awakening in 2018 and was getting sober, and, where I realized like, oh, yeah, I thought, there were all these voices talking to me. Turns out they were just my feelings. And I was like, wow, are they loud? Huh? And I read about this bird that keeps itself up in the air off of sheer anger. That's like how it's able to fly long stretches. And I was like, oh, talk about a spirit animal. If we're allowed to say that anymore. I'm saying it in jest. Okay. I was like, this is great. This is me. I'm going to keep myself in the air going up. We can ride this out. If that bird can make it, from north to south just by being pissed, I can get through 2018. And that's where I'm back to. I'm that bird. And I'm like, all right, you know what? It's like, I'm going to use this time and this anger to get so rooted in who I am. This is another, word that the internet, that social media loves, of like, I'm going to be unfuckable with, it's like, do not come for me unless I send for you. And just really getting so rooted, so anchored in that all of these other things as they come at me. And I'm not saying that I don't mean to say I'm going to do this and like I would never be angry again, or that, that shit doesn't happen. That's not what I'm saying. But for me, in this leveling up is the ability to, I don't have the space for that anymore. I got 2 kids that I have to keep regulated. I've got myself, I've got 2 businesses. I have other things. So I have to root in myself to be able to go back and forth in the wind and be able to be like, boom, we're still moving forward, because that's where we are. So that's a little bit of this lesson right now, in whatever way that translates into where you are, because I trust that it does, of like, what is that ability to get so rooted? And that's where I was like, oh, that's this huge call for surrendering and slowing down. It's not that the things I've been working towards, because I'll be transparent with you, I'm pissed, because I'm like, wait a minute, I've been busting my ass since 2018 to rebuild myself, to rebuild my career. And you mean to tell me that it's not taking off? Well, I've put in all this time. Why am I don't just have like a sold out world tour? All right, slow down. Okay. You got a few more steps to go. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Doesn't mean that your work is not affecting people all of the time, and that you're getting better and better at what you do. It means that when you choose to not surrender, when you choose to resist surrendering, then you lose out on both things, because the bullshit will always catch up with you. So if you don't surrender, anchor in and go, I'm here for it. What am I supposed to learn right now? I will stop. I will surrender. My hands are up. Because when the universe is calling you, your higher power, however you define it, the energy, the great mystery, when all this shit is pelting you in the face, and whether you're there right now or you've been there before, that's happening because it's going, hello, like, what else can we do to get you to realize, like, we need you to slow down. These are red lights, and you're still trying to, like, drive on the freeway on a jet ski. Like, girl, it ain't going to work. Okay. Like, you surrender. Because when you're trying to override these sensors, when you're trying to override the universe and be like, no, I can do it, the universe is just going to keep throwing shit at you until you stop, because that's how it works. I don't know a lot, but I know that. And I know that that's how it works. So when you don't surrender, you lose out twice, because you lose out on the experience of what you're supposed to be learning by going, no, I got a better way. No, I got a better way. And you lose out twice, because then no matter what, eventually it's all going to catch up with you. And then what happens? You got to go back to one. So if you were in a place similar to me right now, I just encourage you of like, hey man, slow it down, surrender, throw your hands in the air and go back to one. Go back to one. It's the perfect time. It's the middle of the year. We're almost to the middle of July. You're halfway through the year. It ain't over. It ain't over. Okay? So it's like, boom, surrender. I'm going back to one. I'm going to integrate what it is that I'm being asked to learn right now. I'm going to stay with it, even though I'm frustrated and I wish it was at a different part of the story and it doesn't feel fair. And I'm going to stick with it. And I'm going to trust. I am going to trust, as I have every other step of the way, that when I quote unquote follow directions, when I go in the flow with the universe, that I'm going to get to where I'm supposed to be. And I don't want to miss out twice, and I don't want to have to go back and do it again. So we're going to do it right the first time. We're going to go back to one. We're going to slow it down, and we're going to get to the other side. All right. So that's all I got for you today. Because back to one, baby. But I am going to do a quick card pull for you here and just kind of see what we got. Let's see. So if you're listening to this, I'm pulling the card. If you're like, did she go out? Hello? Here we go. Openness. Openness. It's just a big, full moon. Bunch of big, big emotions, baby. Here we go. Openness. Secrets of the moon. The cycles of the moon affect every aspect of our life. The cyclical magnetic pull regulates the tides as it acts on our planet's waters. The moon even affects the monthly cycles of women. It's not an accident that a woman's cycle and the cycle of the moon are approximately the same amount of time. In native cultures, when women lived in nature, it was not uncommon for them to menstruate during the new moon and ovulate around the new moon. It is believed, which can I just say, like every LA women's group meeting where it was like, are you a full moon? Are you a new moon? When are you when are you bleeding? It was believed that menstruation was the time that a woman had to be still, put her every labors aside, and renew. For all people, the dark of the moon was a time to incubate ideas, watch nocturnal dreams for signs, and be still. In modern life, we as a culture don't honor these natural cycles often enough. And as a result, our lives are usually bereft of this important time of rejuvenation. I mean, I can't make this shit up, y'all. Okay, here we go. The sacred landscape wants you to know when you receive this card, be open to receiving signs. Be still, do nothing. Oh, I could almost cry. Be still, do nothing, and be open. Breathe, relax completely and thoroughly. Incubate your dreams for the future. If you're trying to make a decision, take the time to watch for signs and listen for the whispers of the universe. Watch your dreams for messages regarding the situation and become the sacred watcher. Observe life as it unfolds rather than becoming engaged in it. Be open to what the universe has in store for you. Be receptive to messages from your soul. This card can also be a bringer of sacred wonders into your life. Miracles can't show up. Oh, no, wait. Don't listen to that. Miracles can. That's totally different. Miracles can show up in ways that you didn't expect. Don't lose out twice. Don't lose out twice. That's exactly what that card means to me. Don't lose out twice. Be still. If you're being called to be still, if you're being called to surrender, there's a reason. If you're going too fast, if you decided, no, this is the way, and then I'm going to shoot this time, and then I'm going to do this thing, and then I'm going to turn around, and then I'm going to stand on my head, and then I'm going to open this business. I don't know. Maybe you're more regulated than me, but that's kind of how I've been living my life. And miracles can't show up for you if you're, at the front of the line being like, da, 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 da. You can't hear what's made for you. The interesting thing is the card that was at the bottom of the stack that fell out. And I was like, I'm going to set this aside. I just looked at it and set it down. And this card is the miracles card. So I just want to read it because I thought it was interesting. I felt called to keep this card, but I was like, I don't think this is the card, but this one fell out. So, but the fact that this one ended with, be receptive to messages from your soul. This card can also be the bringer of sacred wonders into your life. Miracles can show up in ways you didn't expect. So then let's read the miracles. No, Rachel, what's the alphabet? MNO. There we go. Okay. She's got it. Miracles. Double rainbow. There's 2 rainbows on the card. After the storm, the rainbow appears. No matter where we are, the instant a rainbow splashes across the sky, we suddenly stop and stand in awe. Some say that rainbows are messages from the Creator. Others say that they are part of an electromagnetic spectrum phenomenon. But no matter the explanation for their existence, rainbows have struck awe in the hearts and souls of many throughout time. Many traditions believe that rainbows are blessings from the Creator. A double rainbow is double the blessings. The sacred landscape wants you to know the storms of the past are passing and your dreams are coming true. No matter what has happened in the past, your future holds abounding miracles. Good fortune, celestial beauty, and inner divinity are expanding within you. Believe that your life is guided. Trust in the goodness of the universe. A celestial bridge to the heavens is opening for you. Start a health program, invest in your career, initiate a relationship, and good fortune will manifest. Blessings are flowing in all directions. Believe that you deserve the best because you do. Bounty, joy, blessings, and miracles are flowing to you. And I think that's great that that's the second card because that is the truth of it. And I think when we're going so fast and when we're so caught up in our own bullshit, our own anger, that the sheer anger that's going to keep me flying, we think we know everything. We think we have all the answers. We think no matter how old we are that, it's done, it's over, or we don't know. And I trust if you're really honest, a lot of the times that things have been the most pivotal for you, the things that have showed up and changed your life were never really the things you were manifesting all along. They were the things that just kind of showed up. So for the rest of June, I'll be back, but not June. June is over. July. I encourage you just to stay in that place of stillness. And if stillness means play for you or whatever, however you find stillness, it doesn't have to mean meditation. but this place of presence, this place of anchoring into your life. How can you anchor into where you are and what's happening in a way that your life can unfold, in a way that it can present itself to you, in a way that you can remember that we're on a spinning rock in the middle of an infinite universe. And while, yes, our individual lives and things that are happening are important and sacred, ultimately, can you find that place of stillness and can you find that place of play? And if nothing else, go back to one. Guys, that's it. That's all Peter Pan has for you today. If you were just listening to this, yes, you can always go and watch them over on YouTube, or even if that's something that you can do, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube. Like I said, I'm on Threads now, which is super fun because I'm sharing like jokes, insights, reposting. So if you like the combination of comedy and spirituality, I highly recommend a follow over there. Let's connect. Also, I'm going to be running a summer special. So if you've wanted to work with me, if you've wanted to do a session with me, I am slashing these prices for the summer. So typically my hourly is $222. Of course it is. And I'm going to be slashing those prices to $111. So if you've been wanting to work with me and that was a little bit out of your price range, prices are currently slashed for the summer. I'm also going to just be offering energy readings. A lot of the work I've been doing with folks is essentially that. But I wanted to see what it really was before offering that directly. So I'm going to be changing some of the offerings. They're pretty much the same, but just kind of changing some of the copy and verbiage. So if you are like, oh, I would love to get an energy reading with you, I would love to read you and offer you some feedback and some guidance. So all of that is available on rachellaforce.com. If anything else, you can always email me with any questions, rachel@rachellaforce.com. You're also always welcome to DM me on social media. I really mean it when I say I love you so much wherever you are. I promise I'm either there or I've been there before and I'm in it with you. So stay in it, stay light, and love you, mean it.